Alright, it's ride time. I have my Ellie Salt House kit from Zoot. And I'm headed out to the park. I have a race tomorrow. I still have to get like miles in, but the intensity is gonna be a little less. And you're gonna fall over. But I'm headed out there, and I'll see you when we get there. Alright, she's all pumped up. My dad fixed some of basically the shifting because it was making some sounds. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is okay. And I'm melting out here. Put my sunscreen. And I don't know where to put you. There we go. And get this ride going. Oh no! Of course. Checked out my kid already. Good job. I am literally melting. So hot. Oh my gosh. I'll sit in this hot car. Maybe that'll be better. In the shade. It's hot. Got just under 50 miles in. I feel really good. It's just really hot. And the sun is beating down. We're like supposed to be heat index of like 105 today. I think temp is like 96. And I actually work at a soccer park by medical standby tonight. So that's not good. So I definitely gotta get cooled down. I have to go to packet pickup. As soon as I get my bike picked up, it's not too far from here, so I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone. But everything felt good. I mean, I do feel like I'm getting stronger and muscles feel better. I love my new kit. It's so bright and colorful. Ugh, so much salt in my eye right now. But I'm gonna load this bike up and then head to packet pickup for the race tomorrow. Here. Alright, bag is picked up. Got my shirt, my cap, my numbers, and I guess my chip tomorrow. So let's go home. I'm all packed up for the triathlon. I packed it. So I'll show you the shirt, I guess, before I leave here. I love it. They've been doing such a good job with like long sleeve, really nice shirts. But it's actually pink here. I don't know if it shows up on camera. It's getting brighter. I'm sure the guys aren't too happy about that. It's green, pink, and orange, but love the shirt. Very soft, nice fabric. And then I've got my bag packed, so just very basic. It almost seems like not enough, so I'm probably forgetting something. But again, I'm not bringing like nutrition or like Band-Aids, blister stuff, like stuff like that. And then I've got my bike already. I've actually got my lights charging since it's on an open road. I wanted to make sure that my lights were charged because I think it's a safer thing to have. I added my number, I'm 151. It's such a tight cord, it's so small or short in length that I am plugged in down there, so I can't add the other 151 to the other side of my bike. But she should be all ready to go. She did good this afternoon. She has a little bit of a sound, but I think for the most part, knock on wood, she's a piece of poop. I don't give her any credit, but she did good. And then the front of my bike, my dad actually added this. I'll show it to you. It says Century Rider MS150, September 1991. My dad did the MS150, so he added that. I'm going to put that on my bike for when I ride the MS150 in about a month or so. But then I have like my kids' school pictures. I usually add to the front and my dog and everything, just my motivation there. So I have to get that done probably when I get back. But I took like an hour nap. I was kind of fatigued, tired, ate a good lunch. But now I work medical standby at one of the soccer parks till about 9:30 tonight. So I'm gonna go and do that. So it kind of shortens my evening on my preparation. Oh, and we're in a heat advisory and a severe thunderstorm watch. So this should be fun sitting out at a soccer park. But yeah, I think I'm ready to go. It feels really weird. I'm wearing my Kill Cake Triathlon shirt from 2 years ago when I did it. Again, it's a sprint, so it just feels odd. There's just not as much to prepare or pack. But I think I'm ready. So hopefully on the flip side of this, unless I find something else tonight that I forgot, it'll be tomorrow morning when I'm all packed up and ready to go.
where you swim and bike, and that's it. So if you're not into the whole rooting thing, we got you covered.
Here's something interesting. Good fella, and a girl. Push hard, Bob.
So our ladies, third place overall for the tri. Harley Boo! Second place with a time of 1:08:49, Michelle Lincolnfelter. And first place with a time of 1:06:56, Miss Beth Fox.
Hey, Bubba.
It went really well. So I got first place overall female, and it was a sprint distance triathlon. So it was like a 550 meter swim. It was about a 12-mile bike ride, and I think a 3.2 or 3.3 mile run. So overall it was a sprint distance, so I knew basically it's going to take me just over an hour to complete this. So basically push as hard as you can. That was my mindset before I got there. I actually ended up working the night before till about 10 o'clock. So I was a little nervous because I was outside and our heat index was 105 that day. So I was really nervous that I would deplete myself. And then I also rode close to 50 miles, as you guys saw. So it made me, you know, kind of nervous, like maybe I put too much in the night before and the day before, working out and then work and just being out in the elements. So I woke up that morning, my legs were actually kind of sore. I could like feel lactic acid in them, and so that made me fairly nervous. We got there in time, set up transition, and basically went down to the race. My dad was with me the whole time. He was the videographer, the photographer, the mechanic, the bike team support, the cheerleaders. You guys have seen my dad. He's been to every single race I've done, minus maybe just a few. and he came with me and we knocked it out, and it was awesome. So you guys know that I got first place overall female. I have been working since I was, I think, 16 or 17 years old was one of my first races I did like locally. And I had always dreamed of like being on top of that podium. I've been on the podium and I've been first, second, or third, or in my age group first, second, or third many times, which is fantastic and an incredible achievement, and I'm proud of myself, but I'd always want to be like the first female overall. And I've been working so hard, and I just felt like, well, maybe I peaked, back in my mid-30s. So maybe, I'm just not gonna get there. I'll keep trying, but sometimes you just kind of have to accept it. So swim went well, minus the fact that when I got out of the water, you guys could probably see there was like 2 chutes. Not quite sure why there were 2, but I kind of started going up the other one and like no, and came back out. My swim felt strong. I felt consistent. I was breathing just about every single stroke. I think that was just like actually the lactic acid in my legs and everything from the previous day. I think that was kind of building up in my body, and I think I was like, if you will, breathing it out. I mean, it's pH balance, right? So I think that made me breathe more frequently than I normally would, and plus I knew it was a sprint, so I was like, you gotta push hard. So I was pushing harder than like I normally would in like a long distance triathlon. So again, got out, went down the wrong chute, kind of corrected myself. Had a really quick transition. I think it was 34 seconds from the swim to the bike, so I was proud of myself. Or maybe it was the other transition. One of them. They were all less than 1 minute and 30 seconds, transition-wise. Got on the bike. My bike had been making some sounds, so my dad kind of looked at it, and he said that nothing's catastrophic, you'll be fine, it's just a noise. I heard that same noise going up. There's a hill basically getting out of the park. It's long. And I heard that and I thought, gosh dang it, don't do this. Switched into another gear, never heard it again. So everything went well with the bike mechanically. It was a roller. I actually had somebody that lives in the same neighborhood as me and goes to school with my daughter, so that I think that was harder than China Park, which is where you're just up and down hills nonstop. And I kind of agreed with them. Again, I don't know if it was lactic acid in my legs from the night before. But it was difficult because there was never a point where I felt like, okay, here's a straightaway. I can really kind of catch my breath. I felt like I was breathing heavily the whole 12 miles. It goes by one of my fire stations, and 2 of the guys were on overtime that are normally on my shift, and they said, oh, we'll run the queue and the lights and the sirens. They didn't. It was shift change, so I get it. I went right literally 2 minutes before shift change. So I'm sure they were busy, but it was kind of cool to see like the truck just sitting out there. So it kind of gave me a little bit of motivation as I went by. And then, there was a girl, she's with the Wolfpack. They're a very good team. They train together. And she was kicking butt on the bike, and we were pacing each other. She would pass me, and then I'd pass her, and then I'd pass her, and she'd pass me. So just back and forth, but her pace was very fast. And I averaged 19.9 miles an hour, and I think that's one of the fastest I've ever averaged. In a sprint distance triathlon. Again, obviously I'm like 16, 17 in an Ironman, just because again, you're thinking long distance. So I was very proud of myself for like pushing in. It kind of showed myself that, yeah, it freaking hurt. And you can do it though. You just needed that person to set that pace for you, and you could keep up with it. So that was good. I saw a couple females that had gotten out of the water before me. So on the bike, I passed them. And I had no idea, again, what was ahead of me, and even if somebody was 30 seconds back, because of the staggered start, I didn't know where I was placing. And again, I just said, race, make this your race, basically. Push as hard as you can. My transition, I think the second transition was like 34 seconds, and the previous one was 1:32. So very quick, I literally like threw my helmet down and I could hear it like hit the ground. And I just ripped off my gloves. I just slipped on my shoes, didn't even tie them. I had them all ready to go, my Skechers. And I went out fast, and I pushed the whole way, and I was hurting. Like I had a side stitch, my legs were burning. About 1.5 miles in, I kind of found my rhythm, and I felt much better. So that did make me feel better, because I felt like, okay, I found my pace. Like I'm getting more comfortable, but I have to keep pushing or I'm gonna lose this. I knew the girl that was on the bike with me It was right behind me because there was a couple switchbacks where you could see your competition. And so I knew I had to keep pushing. So I did. I kept pushing. And there was a female I saw on the second switchback, and she was ahead of me. And I thought, man, how is she ahead of me? I never even saw her on the bike. I was like, she's kicking butt then. And I thought, well, second on the podium is still better than third. And then I was like, what are you saying? You get up there and you push. Like, I could tell her pace was kind of slowing down again from the couple switchbacks that I had seen her. I thought, just keep pushing and go the hardest you can, and if that's all you can do, then you did everything you could. And so I did. I just kept pushing the pace and making myself go harder and harder for like the last mile and some change, and I passed her, and we kind of exchanged, good job, good for you, you kicked butt. And I passed her, and again, I didn't know. I thought, man, she's right behind me, or somebody's a minute behind me but started the swim a little bit later than me. I don't know where I'm placing right now, but again, just push yourself all the way to the finish line. And I did. I got to the finish line. Had a couple of people say, yeah, you got it, good job, you know, you're probably 1 or 2. I was like, great. So I went to go get my results about 20-30 minutes after the race, once I packed some stuff up, and it showed that I had no run time. I thought, well, that's weird, maybe it's just not in. So I got a hold of the race director, and she said, we're having kind of some issues. Here's your time, we have your time, because somebody was telling me, oh, you exited the wrong spot. They may have not even gotten your time. And I thought, oh my gosh, I worked so hard. All I want to know is literally just where did I place in my times. And so, long story made short, we waited over an hour, got our results, got the timing figured out, got the placement, got the awards all figured out, and they finally started the awards. And that's when the race director personally came up to me, and she said, congratulations, you're first. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was just so surprised. I was so happy. From the previous 2 years ago, I did this race in 2021, and I went approximately 4 minutes slower 2 years ago. So again, not only was the placement where I wanted to be, but I'm improving my time. So just like Shawnee Mission Park, I got 4th place overall. I had always been on the podium the last 3 years, and I thought, man, I was kind of beating myself up when I looked at the times, and I was 5 minutes faster. So if I'm improving and I'm working hard, and knock on wood, I'm staying healthy, and I get to the starting line and I get to the finish line, that's all I can say. So overall, it was a thumbs up. I had a great time. It was a great race. I do like sprint and distance. It doesn't take all day long, and I'm tired. I'm sore today. I came home, took a nap, took a shower, had dinner actually with my ex and his fiance and kids, and then I went grocery shopping, and I think I lost half my bank account. And yeah, that's pretty much been the day. So I'm here with Coco right now. I thought this would be a perfect time to recap because I don't have the kids screaming in the background. And I'm just happy overall with everything. And reflection-wise, things that I can improve, because there's always something. Know your course. I'm someone that always says, make sure you know your course. And there was a couple times that, hey, it's a couple seconds, you know, I didn't know where I was going, and that's my fault and only my fault to blame. Could have been marked a little bit better, maybe, but ultimately it's my fault. And then again, I need to work on my swim. So I've already kind of mapped out some more swimming time. I felt comfortable, I felt fit, like my arms feel good, my shoulders felt strong, but I need to get better. So keep pushing on all 3 disciplines. I've got a 14-mile run tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow when we start that 14-mile run and see where it takes us.